You were taught to be good, to play, fair, to do the right thing even when it hurts. But what if I told you that's exactly why you're losing? Machiavelli didn't see morals as virtues. He saw them as weapons, but only when used strategically. Blind morality, that wasn't noble. It was weakness, and inside the real world, weakness invites one thing: domination. As Niccolò Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything is bound to come to ruin among so many who are not good. So if you want to survive in a world built on your deception, power plays, and shifting alliances, you must first burn the script they gave you. Because the people who told you to do the right thing, they don't follow it themselves. Let's begin with the first layer of this dangerous truth: how morality is weaponized against you, and how Machiavelli would dismantle that illusion piece by piece. Morals make you predictable, and the predictable get played. A moral person says, "I'd never lie. I could never betray someone. I always treat people the way I want to be treated." Sounds admirable, right? To Machiavelli, that's a blueprint, a roadmap, a cheat sheet for manipulation. Because when your values are static, your enemies don't need to overpower you. They just need to create situations where your morality traps you. You're too loyal to leave, too honest to protect yourself, too kind to retaliate. And while you're holding yourself to your sacred principles, they're exploiting every weakness you've just revealed. Never make your values visible. If they can't predict your lines, they can't control the game. Be fluid, adaptable, capable of appearing virtuous while doing exactly what's necessary. Because power doesn't belong to the most righteous. It belongs to the most unreadable. Morality without power turns you into prey. You've seen it before. The honest man gets fired. The loyal woman gets abandoned. The generous friend gets exploited. Morality in theory is beautiful, but in practice, it's a liability unless you hold the own and power to enforce it. Machiavelli would say, it is better to appear moral than to be moral. Why? Because the appearance keeps people's trust, while the absence keeps you free. If you must choose between being seen as cruel or being destroyed by kindness, choose cruelty without hesitation. Not because you enjoy it, but because it's strategic. Power first, principles second. Otherwise, your principles will be used to destroy your power. Ever tried to reason with someone toxic, thinking they'd understand if you were just kind enough? That's morality without leverage. That's feeding wolves your hands and hoping they become lambs. Morals are used to control the masses, not to empower the individual. The morals you were raised with, most, weren't designed to make you stronger. They were designed to make you obedient. Turn the other cheek, don't judge. Forgive and forget, don't seek revenge. These are not universal virtues, they're behavioral shackles. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. That's why The Prince was written not for the peasants, but for rulers. He didn't advise leaders to be kind. He advised them to use the illusion of kindness. A prince must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. This means you must recognize when moral language is being used to shame or disarm you. You must learn to disengage from guilt when guilt is being weaponized. You must see virtue signaling for what it is, a disguise for manipulation. If someone insists that you behave ethically, ask yourself, is this about right and wrong or about keeping me small? In most cases, the Gear answer will tell you everything. Your morality becomes their strategy. A skilled manipulator doesn't fight your morality. They redirect it. They'll appeal to your compassion to escape accountability. They'll appeal to your loyalty to keep you locked in a losing soul cause. They'll appeal to your honesty to extract damaging truths from you. They'll appeal to your forgiveness to stay close enough to betray you again. And you'll think you're being good. You'll think you're rising above. But in reality, you're walking into a trap they designed with your values in mind. Machiavelli would call this being ruled by the ghost of your own reputation. So, turn every value into a choice, not a reflex. Compassion offered only when there's no cost. Loyalty given only to those who'd bleed for you. Forgiveness reserved for those who suffer without asking for it. Never hand out virtue for free. Let them earn it with suffering. Machiavelli didn't despise morals. He simply understood they are luxury items, meant for those who already hold power, not those still trying to claim it. If you lead with honesty, loyalty, or kindness in a world that thrives on dominance and deception, you will be broken, then forgotten. Because the big truth is brutal. The world respects power, not virtue. Virtue only becomes valuable after you've secured control. Before that, it's just a weakness, waiting to be punished. Now let's break down how to fake morality for strategic gain. How to use virtue as a mask while sharpening the blade behind your back. You'll learn how to appear pure while operating like a predator. Because in Machiavelli's world, only one kind of person survives. The one who knows when to be a saint and when to become a shadow. You've now seen what morality really is in Machiavelli's world. A costume, not a crown. A trick to pacify the masses, not a code to lead by. And yet, the illusion of morality, that's a different story entirely. Because here's the next brutal truth. Those who appear moral often hold more power than those who are moral. Why? Because morality, when worn like armor, makes you so predictable. But morality, when worn like a mask, makes you untouchable. This is the Machiavellian art of virtue manipulation. You're not here to destroy the idea of goodness. You're here to use it as a weapon. Appear good to disarm the weak while acting in cold strategy. Machiavelli didn't say you must be evil. He said it is unnecessary for a prince to have all the good qualities. But it is very necessary to appear to have them. Appear honest, appear fair, appear kind. But when the time comes to strike, strike with no hesitation. This is how the most effective manipulators move. They look pure, trustworthy even, harmless until they make their move. And by then, it's too late. Think of the politician who smiles as he guts your freedoms, the business leader who preaches compassion while crushing competition, the partner who speaks of loyalty while keeping options open behind the scenes. They win not because they're moral, they win because they seem like it. Let others project their own values onto you. Give them nothing real, only a reflection of what they want to believe. And while they trust you blindly, you'll already be rewriting the terms of the relationship. Morality is theater, and you must be the lead actor. In most situations, people don't care if you're truly good. They care if you look good. We live in a world of optics, of headlines, impressions, emotional cues. That's why Machiavelli's greatest advice is this. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. So if morality is a war performance, play your role flawlessly. Show outrage when someone else lies, even if you lie better. Praise fairness publicly while tipping the scales privately. Comfort someone in pain while gathering intelligence from their weakness. This isn't hypocrisy, it's survival theater. And Machiavelli would argue if you don't play the role, someone else will. And they'll win because of it. Control your face before you control your fate. Every raised eyebrow, every pause, every eye. Understand. It's not empathy. It's influence with emotion as the delivery war system. Use virtue as camouflage while you move through enemy territory. Do you know why ruthless people get exposed? Because they stop pretending. They forget the game is about perception, not reality. The best way to carry out a brutal agenda, make them think you're incapable of it. Machiavelli saw this in the way princes operated. The ones who stayed in power for decades weren't the loudest. They were the most careful with their masks. They built hospitals while launching invasions. They praised unity while splitting enemies behind the scenes. They wore white robes while holding blood-stained swords. In modern terms, you donate publicly to cover private ambition. You admit a small flaw to distract from your real vice. You defend the weak only to gain the crowd's blind loyalty. Give your enemies nothing to attack because you've dressed your poison in honey. Let them feel safe. Let them feel righteous. Then pass undetected. The moral high ground is the perfect sniper nest. While others use morality to guilt and disarm you, you can use it to control the narrative entirely. Accuse others of violating moral codes you don't personally care about. Position yourself as the one who tried to do the right thing, even when your actions were purely strategic. Frame your opponent's moves as unethical, not ineffective. People care more about what feels wrong than what works poorly. Machiavelli knew that the court of public opinion doesn't care about truth. It cares about emotional optics, and there is no stronger form of emotional optics than appearing morally superior, especially when you've already secured your outcome behind the scenes. Let others fight over who's right. You take control by becoming the one who had principles. Even if you never follow them, they'll crown you a hero without ever seeing the blade in your hand. You've now stepped beyond guilt. You've stepped beyond the need to be good. You've stepped into the mindset of someone who uses goodness the way a general uses camouflage, not to feel safe, but to win wars. And here's the darkest truth, Machiavelli would whisper. In the actions of men, especially of princes, the end justifies the means. Not the approval, not the virtue, the end. So while others ruin themselves, trying to keep their hands clean, you wear gloves, you smile, and you walk out of every room holding exactly what you came for. Now let's explore what to do when someone tries to morally shame you, how to flip guilt into dominance, how to dismantle the goodness of your enemies, and how to become untouchable through just cold ethical flexibility. Because you don't need to destroy morality. You just need to learn how to wear it like a crown and take it off when the crown no longer serves you. Now that you've learned how to manipulate the illusion of morality, the next step is even more brutal. How to survive and dominate in a world that tries to use morality against you. Because once you stop being ruled by morals, the world doesn't go quiet. It retaliates. People will question your integrity, guilt, trip you, try to shame you into obedience. They'll act like they're protecting truth. But Machiavelli saw through the act. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few feel what you are. They want you trapped in the game of appearance. What you need is immunity, a psychological shield so thick their guilt cannot reach you. When they shame you, shift the frame. The mere moral mob will say, "How could you do that? That's not right. People like you are the problem." Here's what most people do: explain, justify, soften, and that's exactly where they lose. Machiavelli would never defend himself on said what moral grounds. He'd reframe the entire conversation. You don't argue whether it was right or wrong. You redefine what right even means. Say, I did what was necessary. Or you're talking about ideals, I'm talking about results, or that's your morality. Mine doesn't bend to guilt. The goal is never to prove you're good. It's to show that their definition of good is irrelevant in your world. They argue over virtue. You decide outcomes. Don't argue with the righteous. Make them look foolish. There is no one more dangerous than a person who believes they're morally superior. You can't out-reason them. You can't debate them into silence. They're not arguing to learn. They're arguing to win the moral spotlight. So what does Machiavelli advise? Don't fight them. Freeze them. Let them rant. Let them accuse. Then calmly say something that makes them look like a zealot. For example, you're very emotional about this, or it's just business, not a sermon. Take the air out of their outrage. Show the crowd that you're in control while they're performative. Righteousness without strategy is just noise. And when you expose it, they deflate. Recognize when morality is just a disguise for control. Here's one of Machiavelli's coldest insights. He who wishes to deceive will always find someone willing to be deceived. And some of the most effective deceivers are those who use morals to manipulate. They don't say, do this because I need it. They say, do this because it's the right thing. Translation, do this because I've trapped you in an invisible contract you never signed. You must learn to decode these phrases. A good person would means a submissive person would. Don't you care means let me weaponize your empathy. If you were truly loyal, you'd means let me guilt you into surrender. Never respond to the moral frame. Respond to the tactic. Instead of saying, I am loyal, say loyalty doesn't mean blind obedience. Instead of defending your kindness, say kindness without standards is just weakness in makeup. Expose the mechanism and it loses power. Let them think you have limits until you don't. One of the deadliest Machiavellian tactics is strategic moral delay. Let the world believe you're guided by full ethics until it's no longer convenient. Why? Because people relax around it during boundaries. They stop watching. They make assumptions. They tell secrets. When they think you'll never strike, that's when you strike hardest. This doesn't mean you betray recklessly. It means you time your ruthlessness with surgical precision. You turn the other cheek 3 times, then make a move they never saw coming. You stay quiet during the chaos, then take credit when the dust settles. You offer second chances, then cut them off exactly when they expect forgiveness. Use your reputation for goodness as camouflage. The longer you play saint, the harder your shadow hits when it finally emerges. Guilt is the rope they tie around your neck, so cut it. The final internal weapon of those who use morality to control you. Guilt. And here's the truth. No, Machiavelli would burn into your mind. Guilt is a leash they only use when they fear your freedom. People guilt you when they want you to. Stop pursuing your goals. Want you to prioritize their emotions over your success, or want you to self-regulate so they don't have to challenge you. The fix isn't to become heartless. It's to understand that guilt is only valid when you've actually done wrong, not when someone else feels inconvenienced by your independence. When someone tries to make you feel guilty, ask, did I break a real rule or just someone else's illusion of me? The answer will either set you free or prove you're still trapped. They will call you selfish. They will call you cold. They will say you've changed. Good. That means it's working. Morality is a tool. You choose when to lift it and when to put it down. But the moment you carry it like a chain, you've already lost the war. Now, let's build the Machiavellian code of ethical power. How to control your own values like a switchblade. How to stay feared without ever being hated. And how to wear your morality not like armor, but like a mask you take off after the battle is won. You've seen how morality is used as a trap, how people disguise control as doing the right thing, how the righteous often manipulate more than the ruthless. But Machiavelli never told you to become evil. He didn't say burn your soul to gain power. What he taught in secret between the lines is how to wield morality like a blade instead of wearing it like a chain. Because the truly dangerous are not those who have no morals. The truly dangerous are those who control their own morality, who can turn it on and off like a weapon, depending on what the situation demands. This is the Machiavellian code of ethical power, where you learn to choose your values, not be chosen by them. Your morality should serve you, not enslave you. The reason most people lose is because their values are static, fixed, inflexible, naive. They say, I could never lie. I always forgive. I refuse to betray anyone. And Machiavelli would shake his head, because once your enemies know these things about you, they stop respecting you. They start using you. But what if your morality was flexible? What if you could choose when to be honest, when to forgive, when to protect, and when to destroy? That is real freedom. Don't let morality be your master. Let it be your servant. If your values don't advance your survival, your influence, or your goals, they are not values. They are obstacles. The most feared man is the one who can be kind, but doesn't have to be. Cruelty without restraint is barbaric, but kindness without control is pathetic. The most powerful people in history were not always cruel. They were capable of cruelty, and that made their kindness feel earned, rare, valuable. If people know you can be kind, but they also know you could crush them, they treat your mercy like a gift. If they know you have no sharp edge, your goodness becomes a joke. Machiavelli would advise, a prince must not mind incurring the charge of war, cruelty, when it is necessary for keeping his subjects united and faithful. That's the key when it is necessary. You don't have to enjoy power games, but you must be willing to play them. Be fair, but only when it doesn't cost you leverage. Be generous, but only when it increases loyalty. Be merciful, but only when your enemies are already on their knees. Customize your ethics to the situation, not the situation to your ethics. This is where morality becomes strategy. The mistake most people make is trying to apply one rigid rule to every scenario. But Machiavelli believed in situational ethics, the ability to adjust your behavior depending on the stakes, the will of your opponent, the potential fallout, and the long-term gain. If honesty will strengthen your reputation, tell the truth. If deception will prevent war, lie. If kindness will buy loyalty, be kind. If fear will guarantee obedience, be feared. Your decisions are no longer based on right and wrong. They're based on what works best right now. Stop asking, is this the right thing to do? Start asking, will this bring me closer to control or further from it? The Guinea's world doesn't reward righteousness. It rewards results. To be loved without power is useless, but to be loved after power is real immortality. Machiavelli didn't despise love. He just knew that love without power is fragile, dependent, temporary. But love after power, love that survives fear, respect, awe, that's real. As he wrote in the Prince, it is much safer to be feared than loved if one of the two must be lacking. But notice he said if one of the two must be lacking, because in the years-long game, the Machiavellian goal is to be both, to dominate first and inspire love later, to make people follow you out of fear and stay because they're in awe. You do this by building a life so untouchable, so commanding, so powerful, that your rare acts of morality become more legendary. In the early game, prioritize fear, control, unpredictability. In the Garis Midam, earn trust selectively through full advantage. In the Endam, practice selective virtue to craft a reputation greater than any moralist could ever achieve. The ultimate Machiavellian truth. You are the law. There is no universal code. There is no fixed compass. There is no right thing except what keeps you alive, ascending, and in control. You write your own code. You choose your own virtues. You define your own line between cruelty and compassion. Most will call this evil, but Machiavelli would call it enlightenment, because at the highest level of power, there is no judge, no jury, no moral tribunal, only this. Did you win? Did you last? Did you leave behind fear, respect, and influence so potent it outlives your body? If yes, then your morality worked. Because in the end, history does not remember the righteous. It remembers the ruthless who played the righteous better than anyone else. You were not born to be a martyr. You were born to be a monarch. Let them keep their purity. You'll take the throne.